I just read an article on the Washington Post. It was titled Democrats See Grim Prospects in Final Election Results Despite Biden's Win. That's the title of the article. But when you read the article in detail, you start to wonder exactly what are they talking about. First of all, I had one particular response to the article. Let me place the article on the screen first of all. But I had one response to the article when I first posted it. I said, I read this article with trepidation, mostly because Democrats can easily win 60% just being who we say we are. Republicans lie about what Democrats will do to them. Democrats tell Americans what Republicans won't allow them to do for them. And that is really the problem that we have as a Democratic Party. In effect, what many don't see is the service to several masters. The claim that we are a working class party, a party for the middle class, a party for everybody, a party that doesn't allow the wealthy to gain everything, to take everything away. But the problem is, as we talk to people, that's not what necessarily they hear. And why is that the case? The case is when we have the sect of the party that brings the policy that really is going to make material difference to people's lives, we are fighting two battles. The first battle is with Republicans saying, those policies are policies that are socialist, or those are policies that most Americans don't want, which we know factually based on polls are not true. And when we come to a particular sect within our party itself, they pick up many of the talking points of the Republicans, and henceforth the statement that I make, Democrats tell Americans what Republicans won't allow them to do for them. Here is the problem, and this is something that I speak about many times over and over again that I hope more people would realize. We have establishments in both parties, and what I call the left rail and the right rail. And these establishments are pretty much the rails. And guess what happens when you have the rails? Rails move in one direction, one a left rail and a right rail. But the one thing we know about these rails is that they're always moving in the same direction. In the case of America going forward, or in America since Reagan, we have always had these rails moving with a tilt to the right, with a tilt to the right. And a progressive tilt to the right in the long run is exactly what we're living through. Income inequality and job insecurity and unfettered capitalism. That is what we see. And until we get honest with ourselves, America wants the democratic policies. But if you want the democratic policies to succeed, you have to lead with the democratic policies without fear. In this article, it shows Ryan stating things like Americans are not speaking to people, and he's absolutely right about that. But the thing about it is, many times he himself would say, but if we talk about issues like Medicare for all, something that most Americans really, really want and will want if the narrative is not allowed to be the narrative of the Republicans, which says that is make government control of healthcare, as opposed to us stating the private healthcare system is nothing but a plantation system where you choose which plantation you want to live on. Medicare for all is opposite from that. Medicare for all says we pay the bill, you decide who you want to control your healthcare. Private healthcare says which plantation do you want to control your life. We have to get the narrative right. We have to be the ones telling people how things work. Now, the complaints that Democrats did so badly in this election isn't quite true either. If you take a look at even on this particular article that wasn't the best written, wasn't very well written, you see what we hear. These positives that came out of Democrats on the ground working hard did all the right things. There are places that we need to get better at. One, numero uno, we need to start going into rural areas and letting these farmers know we are on your side. We're not on ADM's side. We're not on on the side where it says give all the stimulus to the large companies that are agribusiness and it never trickles down to you. Give it to you directly. These are the things we need to talk about. The evangelicals, that's a lost cause because that is based completely on dishonesty. That is based completely on a few people trying to get rich off of the free money of others. So we'll forget about the evangelical sections as far as how to get them. That is, forget about that. But all the other areas, the areas where they say, well, the right is making inroads into African American men. Understand the reason why. Understand that why somehow Trump appealed to a tiny bit more so than in the past. And if we do these things, if we start talking to people, we will get there. This article, the title of this article shouldn't be taken seriously. Democrats see grim prospect in final election results despite Biden's win. The title should have been Democrats see grim prospects in final election results despite Biden's wins if they continue to campaign from two sides of their mouth, if they continue to campaign not for the common person in the city, the common person in rural areas, the common person everywhere that defies those who now control it all. The title is, If We Talk to the People will vote us in. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.